I'm looking at this situation and I see that the Defense Department is still, it's going to be getting, Trump is promoting $1 trillion budget for the military now, right? That $1 trillion budget is not to fight cartels. It's not about fentanyl. You don't need F-22s and Boeing's latest 6th generation fighter. You don't need that stuff to fight cartels. You need that stuff to fight a great power enemy. Who's the only game in town for high-tech war fighting? It's China. And that's why you see the Silicon Valley defense industrial bros, the Palantir executives, these guys, they are actively talking about us being in war with China already. China's going to war with us already.
But I think one of the things, China knows they're at war. The question is, we kind of equivocate on it as a peace-loving nation.
They have insane threat inflation. They have an insane misperception of China, right? And the China threat. But that's because it fuels their bottom line. And that's what the China hawks in the Trump administration, to a man, they all want. They want to optimize for war with China, and they need to build that military. And you can't do that in a benign strategic environment, And Bridge Colby, who I talked about on the pod occasionally, he calls this, he wants an anti-hegemonic coalition in Asia, or counter-hegemonic coalition in Asia. That's a misnomer. That's the wrong term for it. But he wants to unify smaller countries in Asia. He wants to unify the American public behind this anti-China project. And that facilitates the white nationalist social order. And it's not going to happen. You can't have that kind of counter-hegemonic coalition in a world where we're alienating everybody. That's fucking impossible. But that's what they want. And so these guys are on wax. They're on the record. They've been writing in foreign affairs and stuff for years. They want a hard break. Trump's China people. They want a hard break from China. And so Trump issued 10% tariffs on China in January. Then when he rolled out his global tariff plan of sanctions on everybody, it's 54% tariffs, right? Now, in conjunction with the cooling off period for applying all these global tariffs, he announced 104% tariffs on China. And then he has signaled that he's foreshadowed that he'll go to 125% tariffs on China. And it really feels like they are goading China. They're trying to entice China into escalating, into reactions that they can use to demagogue, to continue consolidating this sort of national security ethno-nationalist project, to continue feeding the venture capital machine, which is only plowing money into defense and AI and basically nothing else. So they need this war with China shit. And that's the world that we're sort of living in and headed toward, right? So they need Christ. No, I don't think anybody wants World War III, but they're trying to be too clever by half. They want the crisis, and they want to live in the crisis with China. They want geopolitical confrontation. And Trump's tariffs on China are not going away anytime soon. They're or at all. I think they're here to stay, right? And his China hawks love it because they want a hard break from China. And that goes part and parcel with the purge of brown and yellow folks from the country, the purge of leftists from the country, and fueling and pouring all of our goddamn money into the war machine.